Well, hello, my name is Joe Powell, Chief Executive of All Wales People First. In my latest video message to the members, I want to talk to you about our upcoming ADFest event, 30th birthday celebration event, which is taking place on the 7th of October. And I hope you're all going to join us because we've got a great lineup for you. In the post, members should receive an envelope. In the envelope, we've got a couple of goodies for you. First thing is the All Wales People First 30th birthday pen, which I think is fabulous if I get the camera to see that. And even better than that, in my opinion, we have the 30th birthday table mat and bottle opener. That will help you for Geraint's event in the evening, which I'll talk about in a bit, if you want to have some beers. Not that any of you are going to need any excuses for beers. Right, I'm going to explain a little bit about the event and what happens on the day. So in your pack, you will get everything you need on the day. Take it all out. Okay, first thing we need you to do, we need you to realise, is that you will have a letter. Try and put the letter closer to the camera. And in the letter you will have links for 3 events. So we have 3 events. We have the main ADFest, we have a fringe event after, which is a bit like the speaker's tent we had at last year's ADFest, and in the evening we have a fun event with Geraint called Geraint's Hootenanny. So you know Jules Holland, he has his Hootenanny on New Year's Eve, leading into New Year's Day. It's that kind of thing, but with Geraint. So you've got your links on there. But this form isn't just the links to the event, it's more than that. We want to check that you still want to be a member of All Wales People First. So please fill in the details. It's hard to see on camera, but we'll ask for your name and your address and things like that. Please fill it all in and put it in the envelope we've given you. So it's a prepaid envelope back to us, so it won't cost you a penny. Please, 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 please fill in the form, put it in the envelope, send it back to All Wales People First so we can update the membership and the database. Obviously, because of lockdown, we can't get to you in person, so this is the way we've had to do it. Please fill in the form. It's only small, there's not much details. Put it in your prepaid envelope, put it in the post, job done. I'm going to stop nagging you about that now. Oh, on that idea, we've also put in there our data protection policy. So if you're going to sign up to be a member, you need to know how we're going to look after the information we have about you on file, on record. So we've put in our easy read data protection policy so you know exactly what we're going to do with your information, just to reassure you you're safe. So have a look at the policy before you sign the form and before you put it back in the envelope. I hope that makes sense. Right, let's now concentrate on the more interesting bit, the event itself. So in your packs, you will get your annual report, as usual. We will feed back this to you at the annual general meeting. And you will also get your festival programme, which will tell you what's going on. So, when you open up your festival programme, mirror principles of self-advocacy, so you can refer to them in your workshops and things if you want to think about our values and what we've agreed together. There's also some instructions about joining Zoom and how to join Zoom and how to use it for those of you who aren't used to using Zoom. It would be worth you having a little look at that before you get in on the day, just to make sure you're comfortable and confident about getting in. We will have staff on hand to give you support should you have any difficulties. But it might make life easier and less stressful for you if you know you could get in the first place. What we also do is we want you to remember to look after yourself during the birthday bash. So there's instructions in there about how you look after yourself during the event. So things like stretching, shaking your arms and legs, sitting on a comfortable chair, drinking water, have a healthy snack, move your eyes away from the screen regularly, have a little walk around. You might want to switch your camera off and just have a little walk around and come back. We want you to be safe using Zoom and comfortable So these instructions will help you to do that. Right, onto the program itself. So at 11 o'clock we start. 10:40 you can sign in and say hello to people or whatever you want to do. But we don't start the event till 11 o'clock. We have an opening speech from the chair and the vice chair of the National Council. Then I will be doing my speech. Then Jane Hutt, MS, will be speaking. Jane Hutt is a great minister to have at this event because she was integral to getting a person with a learning disability to co-chair LADMAG, or what we used to be known as the Learning Disability Implementary Advisory Group. And we take it for granted now, that stuff, but back then the thought of a person with a learning disability even attending a meeting like that and being seen as competent, let alone co-chairing it was ground people just hadn't tread and people thought could never happen and work. The fact that this happened was largely down to Jane Hutt, who thought it was important, and in doing that we ended up changing people's attitudes towards participation for people with learning disabilities. So that's why we thought it would be great to get Jane in. Then we'll have a break. Then we're going to have the All Wales People First annual general meeting. It'll be a simpler meeting this year. We'll do the usual stuff. We'll adopt the report or not adopt the report, adopt the finances or don't adopt the finances, whatever you choose. We will then put the board members up for election or re-election, and then we'll go into lunch. After lunch, we will explain to you the workshops. So there's going to be 5 workshops this year, of which you get to pick 2. And we're going to run each workshop twice. So the workshops are, one is the National Centre of Mental Health, Cardiff University. As you remember at last year's AdFest, we were keen to work with the university on finding out ways in which we can evidence well-being outcomes for people with learning disabilities being included as citizens in society. Your input is valuable to this, so it's a worthwhile workshop if you want to come and help us with this work and how we're going to take that forward. The other workshop will be with Tracy Drew and Hannah Thomas, and that's about designing our 2021 manifesto front cover. In your packs you will have a little drawing of the Victory for Self-Advocacy picture to give you some inspiration. That's a very, very important workshop. We also have Jan Wormsley and Claudia Magwood, who we've employed to research how well we're delivering our business plan and how well we're doing the things we promised you in our evaluation and everything to change All Wales People First for the future. Very important workshop. Give that some consideration. We also have a brilliant workshop from Innovate Trust, who are going to talk about their new Insight app. Their Insight app is basically an app in which disability organisations can share information safely and ideas and opinions safely in secure places, where we can share ideas and opinions and just generally have a greater understanding. So they've got All Wales People First have signed up to this app. We are on there officially, and that workshop will give you a little bit more about that app and how you can get involved in that as an organisation if you want to. So that's also a really, really important workshop. And last but not least is our Through Our Eyes photography workshop. That will be Natasha Hurst and Lucy Hinksman, and they want to work with you about images for people with learning disabilities, how people with learning disabilities can be seen in a more positive light. Things like memes. So you know memes where you've got a picture and then you've got like a caption, some words which describe something or make a point. We'd like you to have a look at that kind of thing. We'd like you to think about what a perfect world would be for a person with a learning disability, how that should look, and what needs to happen. How do we make our image in the public a positive one, but more importantly, how do we want to be portrayed? In the past, lots of other people have portrayed these images for us. How do we want to be portrayed? It has to come from us, and that's what that's about. All 5 workshops, you get to pick 2. You do one after lunch, then we have a break, then you do your second choice after the break. Please remember that all 5 workshops are really important, so please consider them all very, very carefully, because wherever you end up, whichever workshop you end up in, even if you don't get your first choice or whatever, they're very important to all Wales people first. So please bear that in mind. Everything you do is going to be a good workshop and you're going to find it positive. Then we'll have another break, and then we'll have the feedback. So the groups will feedback what their workshop has done, the information they've got back, and then we'll evaluate. So I will then ask you, did you enjoy the event, etc., etc., and you will vote. And James Lewis, I want no complaints about the food, because we don't put the food on this year. The food's from your own house, right? So blame your mum. We're not getting the blame this time for the food. I'm just joking. And then of course we close the event. So that's the main event. That's like the conference event, and that will end at 4:15. We'll have a break. 6 o'clock, we have another event. It's our fringe event at 6 o'clock. So join David Whittle, Philippa Davis and myself for that. If you want to, remember there's a different link for that, and that's in your letter. That letter I told you about, the link to that is in the letter. You might need to rip that off from the bit that you give to us, so you've got the links on the day, but that's in your letter. And we have a fringe event. Now the agenda for the fringe event is also in this pack, and you will find that on page, we haven't got the page number in here, it's my fault, it'll be page 7. You will have a fringe event agenda. It will be hosted by David Whittle, and at the moment we have a presentation from Hannah Thomas on Williams syndrome. We have the North Wales Transformation Team with Michelle Williams and James Lewis. We have a Tai Chi event and a mindfulness event. There will be further breakout rooms. So those who want to stay in the main stage, in the main room, and do the events, stay in the main room. Later on, when we run the Tai Chi's and mindfulness meditation session, those who want to join that will break out from the main room and will go into that session. More will be explained on the day, but just try and look at the agenda to get a better idea. And there's some notes pages on the back if you want to take any notes through the event. And last but not least, at 7:30, our fun event for Geraint's Hootenanny. There's an advertisement on the back for Geraint's Hootenanny, which has been put together really nicely by Natasha Hurst, who we're thrilled is working for us. That's 7:30. That'll be more of a fun idea. Have some beers, have a laugh with Geraint. Use your table mat and bottle opener. That's important, because the beer won't taste the same without that. And that's basically it. How's this going to work? How successful is this going to be? We don't know. We've never done this before. We've tried to make it within a day as fun and as interactive as the usual sessions we do. I don't quite see it as an ad fest, typically as an ad fest. I see it more as a one-off 30th birthday celebration, which fits more in with the inconveniences of COVID. But we've still tried to make it as similar as we can to AdFest, as meaningful as we can to AdFest 2. So yeah, that's the idea of that, and we'll just see how it works. If it doesn't work the way we expect, we're just going to have to tweak the event as it goes. I'm excited for it. I hope you are. Next to this post, because I'm going to do this on the All Wales page and my Chief Exec's page, we're going to put a poll and hopefully garner some kind of interest. Please vote. We want to know who's coming to AdFest, so we have some kind of idea of who to expect on the day. I'm going to end it there. Victory for Self-Advocacy, victory for our 30th birthday celebration on the 7th of October, victory for you and the fabulous work you've done during COVID-19. We're looking forward to seeing you on October the 7th and being reunited with the People First family again. Thank you very much for listening.